Hey guys, it's Chris with Nichols Retirement Empire. We are in the kitchen today. We're going to be in and out of the kitchen. We're going to be in here preparing an Ive round roast and going outside to smoke it. Okay, we bought one of these actually by accident. Tammy didn't mean to buy this, and she bought it. And she's like, "What are we going to do with this?" Because we wanted something different. So I looked it up and it said you could smoke it. I've never smoked one of these, so I'm gonna try it out. Let's see what it's like. I'm sure it's good. All right, the first thing we're gonna do, and here it is, it's a nice big one, and I'm not gonna cook all of it. I'm gonna save half of it. Tammy's gonna use it for something else. But the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to trim a lot of this fat off of here. That's pretty tough right there, guys. That is pretty tough. So, knife-wise, let's see how we want to, yeah. Like I said, I've never worked with one of these before. All right, I've got it all cleaned up. I got off everything, any kind of fat like that I could get a hold of. I tried to get off of there, but you can't get every bit of it off, so that's okay. I got off the main stuff. All right, now what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna season it. And I'm gonna try to put a liberal amount of seasoning on here. I'm gonna start with some kosher salt. Gonna put some stuff on here that made empires and broke civilizations right here. Some salt. You can look that up if you don't believe me. All right, I'm gonna put some white pepper on here. I wanted to use some crushed black pepper, but I don't have any. I do have some just regular old black pepper. Now, this right here, need to be careful with. There you go. Let's get it all in my hands. I'll have to go back and clean these bottles. That's all right. White pepper's got a pretty good little kick to it. I want to make sure it's covered good. That. Okay. Tammy likes, like I said, I'm gonna go back and clean these. I'm gonna use some roasted garlic and red bell pepper. She really enjoys that. So let's get that on there. It smells good. And since this is going to take no telling how long, all day, to cook, I got plenty of time to clean up my mess. And I will clean up my mess. Don't worry. Okay, and some Hidden Valley Ranch. Slap that on there. Okay, that's all good stuff right there. All right, so we got that thing seasoned up. So I got a mess here to clean up, that's fine. I'm going to go out, I'm going to check my smoker and make sure it's up to temperature, and then we'll get it in the smoker. All right, guys, the old smoker is up to temperature and ready to go. Let's get the meat in there. All right, and you want to make sure you got a good meat thermometer, okay? So there it goes. Oh. Okay, I got that thermometer right in the center. That's where it needs to be. I'm going to cook it up to, I want to get it at medium, okay? And I'm going to sear it when it comes out of here. So, from what I understand, you should take it up to maybe 15 degrees, maybe 10 degrees, close to what you want it to end up being. All right, because I'm going to sear. So I'm going to cook it to medium rare, which will be about 140. I may let it cook a little bit longer, but I'll probably cook it to about medium rare, and that way when I sear it, it'll get up to medium, because it's going to continue to cook. Like if you cook it all the way up to 140 and that's medium rare, it's probably going to go up to 145. It's going to continue to cook once you take it off the heat. So let's let it do its thing. Oh, and in case I forgot to tell you, I'm cooking it at 225. My smoker cooks kind of cool, tendency to stay a little cool, so I may kick it up to 250. But I don't need to be in a hurry, so let's let it cook. Yeah, a lot of people I've noticed with my wife's cooking show, they tend to get kind of worried about how you do things and making a mess and stuff. Like, oh, you're going to make a big mess. Why don't you do this? It's a lot neater. And I've pretty much come to the conclusion that if you're going to cook, you need to be willing to clean up the mess. That's just part of it. Hot soap and water, bleach if necessary, will clean up pretty much anything that you can do. You just have to be willing to take the time out, pay attention to what you're doing. Like I said, use soap and water and clean everything. So we are about at 135 degrees on the interior of this roast. So I'm going to take it out. And I'm going to sear it and try to get it to where it's about 145, somewhere in that neighborhood. Kind of got smoked there myself. Now that took in the neighborhood of 4 hours. So let's get this thing in a pan. And I'm going to sear that for about 3 minutes aside. Okay, that's to 140. And let it rest. Okay, one thing that I did do, because I didn't quite get it to the temperature I wanted when I seared it, it didn't, you know, get as many degrees on it as I wanted. I stuck it in the oven after I seared it until it got up to 145. Okay, and it'll get a little higher than that, just sitting here resting. And so I'm gonna let it rest for about 5 minutes. I'm gonna cut it, and we'll see what it tastes like. Okay, guys, let's cut this and see what we got going on with it. I'm going to cut a nice big slice right here off the end. Let me get something. And that is medium to medium rare right there. It's a hot center. It's a warm center. All right, let's put it on a plate and taste it. How tough it might be, because this is not supposed to be a tender cut. So let's try it. It's tender enough to eat. It's got a definite good smoke to it. It's got a very strong flavor. If you hadn't eaten a lot of smoked beef, it may be a little bit different for you. But for that kind of cut of meat, it is tender. If I had, but I was interested in just seeing straight out. If I cooked it and I cooked it on a low temp, and I did this, how it would turn out. You could marinate it, you know, whatever, to make it smaller. You could cut it a little thinner. That was just a big, thick piece that I cut off to eat right there. And it's definitely tender enough to eat. So, not bad, man, not bad. Now, the more I get to the center of it, where it's cooked less, it's way more tender. This is not something you could cook past medium for sure. You cannot cook this well done and it be tender, and it's pretty tender, really. So it's good, man. I enjoy it. There's all kind of different cuts that you can smoke if you haven't tried, and make them taste really good. So I'm kind of ready to eat this. So thanks for watching, guys. Nichols Retirement Empire. Let's get after it.